Hey, how are you? I am Chris Robin, aka at Detroit Beastie, here with Fantasy Six Pack to talk about Thursday night football. The Dallas Cowboys head to New York to take on the Giants. Kickoff is at 8:15 p.m. Right now, the over/under is around 45.5 points. Before I get into some player projections and who I'm stacking, I'm going to share. We're going to do this video a little bit different. It's going to be drastically smaller in terms of time, but it's going to be action-packed, info-packed with players, price tags, and projections. Before I get into that, make sure you get to the website at Fantasy Six Pack. When you get there, just look around and see what works best for you, I should say. I'm stuttering and stammering because it's so exciting, right? Go to the Discord as well, the Fantasy Six Pack Discord, which is free, but there are some premium options. There's different channels for you to hang out and get into. Hockey is starting up. The baseball playoffs are literally a week away, and week 4 of the NFL season kicks off tonight in New York. Now, when we look at this game, instead of just slogging through each position, going over both quarterbacks, sometimes like tonight, there's literally 8 running backs we could potentially roster, but who cares about Eric Gray and Deuce Vaughn and Hunter L, the Cowboys guy? We're going to get into the meat of it, right? Rico and Singletary, and then the wide receivers are exciting as well, given what Malik Neighbors did last week. And get this, CeeDee Lamb, a fun fact, right? CeeDee Lamb has yet to eclipse 100 yards in a game. He scored a touchdown or two. I think Lamb might have 3, but he doesn't have any 100-yard games yet. Week 4, will that change? More than likely. The Cowboys defense, the Giants defense, what about kickers? We're going to do it differently, right? I'm going to give you the final score right now, and then I'm going to not work my way back because we've done that before, but I'll give you the final score, and then I'm going to give you 3 sample lines if you want to grab a pen and a piece of paper, and then I'll tell you each projection, MVP captain spots, where we're doing, what I'm doing with that, and we'll go from there. This one is easy peasy, right? The Dallas Cowboys, their last 3 games, they've scored 33 points, 19 points, and 25 points. You add that up, that's 77 points divided by 3. That's around 26.66 points a game. That's as easy as it gets. When you look at the New York Giants, they've scored 6, 18, and 21. That equals 45 points. Divided by 3, that's 15. So you look at that. I mean, that's the how can I put this? The easiest way to do a final score projection. That is final score projecting 101. You take how many, it's just what is the specific team averaging a game, and then you can just move it from there. I have the Dallas Cowboys winning 28-14. You'll look at some other projections, other people, the fly-by-night folks on social media that come and go. They're able to hang for maybe half the season, and then they're gone, they disappear. But a lot of folks I've seen Dallas, 28, but people have the Giants to score maybe 17. And that's, I don't want to say that's at the high end because the teams still have to play and they can do whatever they want. But I'm comfortable saying that Dallas wins this one 28-14. So you can take the Dallas Cowboys minus the 5.5. You could take them, minus 10 if you wanted to. You'd probably get big time plus odds, and you'd still have around 4.5 points to kind of wiggle around with. So let's look at the sample lineups here. And again, the graphics will pop up and boom, you go from there. MVP captain spot, I got 3 guys I'm into, and again, this is for big-time GPPs, more than likely single entry, the $1 single entry, the $2 single entry, 5, 10, however much you got to spend, and I want you to use this video for entertainment purposes. I don't want to, cost anybody money, and then you come back to me and go, well, Chris, I watched your video, I put $1,000 on the Cowboys minus 10, and it didn't come to fruition. I want my money back. In all my years doing this, no one has said that, but times are changing and it's getting real weird out there. So I just want to make that clear. When we look at, I love the idea of Jake Ferguson in an MVP captain spot tonight. And I didn't finish that original thought. GPPs, guaranteed cash pools, like the big suckers with 14,000 other entries in there, the big ones, right? Where it pays, it not doesn't pay you. We should be different. Cash games is a different beast. You're going to want Dak and Lamb in there, MVP captain, and move it around from there. Maybe even Cooks and Zeke Elliott if you so desire. But to me, in a big GPP on a single game slate, the stranger, the better. And even that might not even get us over the hump. So we have to be strange, odd, and really take some risks here and really be weirdos about it. It's the only way we're going to cash some slips tonight. So to me, I love the idea of Jake Ferguson in our MVP captain spot. Ferguson, 9-5 on FanDuel, $7,000 on DK. The Giants, 17th overall against defending opposing tight ends. In the last two games that Dallas has played against the Giants, Ferguson has seen 14 total targets. Tonight, 6-7 targets, 4 to 5 receptions, 45 to 50 yards, and a touchdown reception. And as it stands right now, the Giants are allowing 186.3 yards a game in the air. Plenty to go around. Dak has already, shown Ferguson some love this season already in terms of targets and yards. But give me Ferguson in the MVP captain spot. And we move over Brandon Cooks in the same spot, MVP captain. So Ferg MVP captain, and then flex in favor of Brandon Cooks. Right now, Brandon Cooks 10-5 on FanDuel, 6-8 on DK. We're looking at 4 to 5 targets, 3 to 4 receptions, 35 to 40 yards, and a touchdown. To be fair, one of those, his touchdown pass could be a 35-yard pass. If that happens, we are gravy, we're cake, and anything else that adds up after that would be beautiful. So far, Jake Ferguson, MVP captain and flex, and then Brandon Cooks, MVP captain flex. So you got 2 players for a lineup right now. And then my third favorite guy would be Wan'Dale Robinson, the New York Giants wide receiver. Right now, Wan'Dale, $10,000 on FanDuel, 4-8 on DK, 6-7 targets, 4 to 5 receptions, around 50 yards. The touchdown might be elusive. Projecting touchdowns is, as hard as it gets. It's like a home run or even a final score prediction and getting it spot on every time. But Wan'Dale Robinson, given how this game is going to go, in my book, as I said, Dallas wins 28-14. The Giants and Daniel Jones are going to be behind early just throwing the football. You could see a case here where Daniel Jones, only completes 20 to 25 passes, but he's going to attempt a whole heck of a lot. And I have Daniel Jones, 250 passing yards, a touchdown or 2, plus around 40 yards on the ground. And I would not be shocked if Wan'Dale Robinson, in fact, scores a touchdown. I'm just not as sure about it as I am with Jake Ferguson and Brandon Cook. So we have so far, hopefully you got a pen and a piece of paper. We're closing in on the end here. We're looking at like 9 or 10 minutes max. So Jake Ferguson, Brandon Cooks, and Wan'Dale Robinson. After that, you are free. There's 3 solid players that aren't, let's say, chalk, right? That there'll be some higher ownership percentages, but not in the lengths of CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott, even Zeke Elliott. So as it stands, Ferguson, Cooks, and Wan'Dale Robinson, and you can mix and match anything after that. I love the idea of Rico Dowdle, the Giants 14th overall against opposing running backs. Rico 10-11 carries, 45 to 50 yards, and 2 to 3 receptions for another 20 yards. So we could hone in on around 75 to 80 total all-purpose yards for Rico. Devin Singletary on the other sideline, he is the guy that's going to see, the lion's share, if not all of the carries. And get this, Dallas is dead last, 32nd overall against opposing running backs. So Devin very much in play. He would make for a nice, our 4th MVP captain spot player in this one. Singletary, 15-16 carries, 70 yards, 3 to 4 receptions for another 20 yards. So again, closing in on 100 all-purpose yards. After that, we're looking at the Cowboys DST, Cowboys kicker Brandon Aubrey. All of those players are in play. But as it stands now, Jake Ferguson, Brandon Cooks, and Wan'Dale Robinson. That's my 3-headed monster, my trio of MVP captain spots and flex. Just bump it up and boop, boop, and go down from there. As I said a few times already, the Dallas Cowboys win this one 28-14. I have no issue taking the Cowboys minus points all the way up to probably 12.5 if you wanted to get nuts, and some anytime touchdown bets with Ferguson, with Brandon Cooks, maybe tossing Malik. So you're going to take the Dallas Cowboys minus 5.5, 10.5 if you want to get wild, plus an anytime touchdown for Cooks, Neighbors, and Jake Ferguson. And I would imagine $10 there would net us a couple thousand, and we'll go from there. Few betting trends, and I will see you probably Sunday for the Sunday social here at Fantasy Six Pack, which is live. The Dallas Cowboys 2-6 against the spread their last 8, and the over has come in 5 of the Cowboys' last 5 games. Dallas 5-1 against the spread their last 6 games against the Giants. So take Dallas minus 5.5. They'll be 7-1 their last, or excuse me, 6-1 their last 7 games. Fingers crossed. And when you look at the Giants, 7-3 against the spread their last 10, and the under has come in 4 of the Giants' last 5 games. And overall, straight up, the Giants 2-5 their last 7. Here's my notes. I'll do my best to share them with some sample lineups, and you have the video just shy of 11 minutes. Be good, be safe. Take the Cowboys minus 5.5. Could even tease at 10.5 if you wanted to. I will see you again soon. Bottom of the barrel out tomorrow. Bye-bye.